Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we have come up with another interesting topic, that is about Indian naval ship Vela, and also we are going to discuss about the submarine project of India and overall its evolution. Also at the same time we will discuss the INS Vela, which is going to be commissioned very soon. What are its important features? So let's start with this particular topic. So first of all, the reason or in the context in which we are discussing today's topic is because Vela is the fourth submarine under the project or very famous project called as Project 75 of the Indian Navy is going to be commissioned today, that is on Thursday, by the Navy Chief Admiral Karamveer Singh at the Naval Dockyard in Mumbai. Now, if we try to understand that the evolution or the phases in which the submarine development of India has occurred. So, first of all, the most important event or most important time is year of 1997, when the Ministry of Defence approved a plan to introduce or acquire 24 submarines under this Project 75. However, as we know that in 1999 we had a war with Pakistan in the region of Kargil, and after the end of Kargil war, the Cabinet Committee on Security, that is the highest level body that deals with the matter related to the security, external security and the defense of India, they said that they are going to introduce or they are going to begin a 30-year submarine building plan for development of submarine in India. And at the same time, the Project 75 at this particular time in 1999 was split into two phases. One was called by its original name of Project 75, while other was given the name of Project 75I, where I stands for India. So we have launch of two parallel production line, each constructing 6 submarines. The major differences between Project 75 and 75I was that Project 75I aimed to build indigenous submarine, while Project 75 also aimed at importing as well as importing the technologies as well as importing the submarine parts with the help of the other world governments. Then another important development happened in year 2005, when under the Project 75, India and France signed almost $3.75 billion contract for building of 6 Scorpene-Class submarines, and 2 entities participated in this project. From Indian side, it was the MDL, also known as Majgaon Docks Limited, while it was DCNS, that was the French organization responsible for development of submarine in a collaborative effort. Then after that, we have in year 2010, a council, that is the highest acquisition council called as Defense Acquisition Council, that deals with the matter related to acquisition, import, export of defense related equipments, decided to import 2 submarines, build 3 at Majgaon Dock Limited and 1 at Hindustan Shipyard Limited with an estimated budget of almost 50,000 crore. Later on, the DAC decided to construct all 6 submarines in India in 2014. Earlier, if you try to understand that the plan was to import 2 submarines and build 4 in India. Now the plan was changed and DAC decided that all 6 submarines should be constructed within India itself with an approved budget of almost 53,000 crore. However, at the same time, under Project 75, as Indian, we can see the MDL as well as the DCNS has or were in a collaborative effort where they were trying to build submarines in India. The first submarine under this project called as INS Kalvari was commissioned, which was almost 5 years behind the schedule. That means in 2012 it was to be commissioned, but it was late and commissioned in 2017. Then as per Project 75I, now we try to understand, other was Project 75I, which aimed for indigenous production of submarines in India. So in year 2020, 2 Indian entities or organization, one is L&T, that is Larsen and Toubro, and other is Majgaon Dock Limited, were shortlisted from the Indian side. At the same time, 5 other original equipment manufacturers, also called as OEM, were shortlisted. One was the ThyssenKrupp Marine System of Germany, Rubin Design Bureau of Russia, Navanti of Spain, Naval Group of France, and Daewoo Shipping and Marine Engineering of South Korea. And in year 2021, it was decided by the Defense Ministry that the submarine development that will happen under this particular project will be under the strategic partnership model. Now we try to understand what is a strategic partnership model. So this is a model that has been adopted by Ministry of Defence of India, where the aim is to involve Indian private companies in a strategic development of the defence equipments with the help of original equipment manufacturers from the foreign countries. These original equipment manufacturers will participate in transfer of technologies to the Indian counterpart, as well as they will also transfer the know-how and the building capacity of the defense equipments. For example, fighter aircrafts, submarines, armored vehicles, and helicopters. So these are the 4 sectors where SP model or a strategic partnership model will be adopted. And under this model, 6 designated submarines has to be developed, now with a total cost of rupees 43,000 crores. However, a new development happened somewhere in the month of July this year, when the Ministry of Defence said that for construction of these submarines under a strategic partnership model, the foreign OEMs have to definitely make AIP mandatory in their design. Now AIP is something that is called as air independent propulsion. Now what is this? We try to understand briefly. Air independent propulsion allows any submarine to live underwater, submerged underwater, without need of the atmospheric oxygen, and that makes submarine to last longer below the water without the need of coming on the surface or resurfacing. So that is why it was made mandatory. However, the 5 countries, as we have discussed before, that were shortlisted, that was Germany, Russia, Spain, France, and South Korea. Only 2 countries fulfilled this requirement of having AIP in the submarine designs, and that were South Korea and Germany. So only these 2 countries were left. However, in September, citing the restrictive conditions and restrictive liability clauses and the requirement of high indigenous content percentage, at the same time on the lack of clarity regarding how technology transfer will occur, the German company ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, or TKMS, has withdrawn its proposal, and now only 1 company that is left, which of the 5 which has been shortlisted before, that is Daewoo Shipping and Marine Engineering of South Korea. So this is the most recent development as far as Project 75I is concerned. Now coming to understanding the progress that has been made under original Project 75. Now again to remind, Project 75 is going on with the help of 2 companies, Majgaon Dock Limited from India and DCNS from France, who has signed a deal of almost $3.7 billion. So under this particular project, till now INS Kalvari, INS Khanderi, INS Karanj has been already launched up to 2018. As we discussed, in 2015 we have this Kalvari, then Khanderi, then Karanj. And in 10 March 2021 we have the commissioning of INS Karanj, and as of now today, the reason why we are discussing about is because, as we see, INS Vela, that is the 4th ship out of 6 that has to develop with the help of France, is commissioned or is going to be commissioned today, and now only 2 ships are there that will be left, that is INS Vagir, that is expected to be commissioned in somewhere in around 2022, and IAS Wagshir, that will be commissioned somewhere in late 22 or early 23. So this is the overall timeline of development of 6 submarine projects under Project 75. Now if we try to understand why INS Vela, or what is the important features about INS Vela. So first of all, the name Vela is given after a decommissioned submarine that was earlier part of Indian naval, Indian naval system that served Indian Navy somewhere between 1973 to 2010. It was a Foxtrot class of submarine which India had imported from Soviet Union. So after this, the name Vela has been used. Now apart from that, if you look at the capabilities of INS Vela in terms of carrying weapons, so it can carry C-303 anti-torpedo countermeasure systems. Apart from that, it can carry 18 torpedoes or Exocet anti-ship missiles. At the same time, if torpedoes are not being carried by this naval ship or submarine, then it can also carry 30 different mines in the place of torpedoes. Now coming to the command, so actually this INS Vela has been commissioned into Indian Western Command of Indian Navy, and its base will be in the Mumbai. At the same time, if you look at the characteristic of INS Vela, it is a diesel electric powered attack submarine that is designed to act as a sea denial as well as access denial warfare to the adversary. Now sea denial and access denial are similar terms that in terms of, or in the lexicon of defense, it is used to define that when in any such we can say submarines or any other like aircraft can be there whose main purpose is by attacking the enemy, they try to not let the enemy ships or enemy aircraft enter into the territory of any particular nation, in this case India. So that is the main objective of INS Vela, that it will deny the accessibility to the sea without unless the other enemy ships want to engage in direct warfare to enter into the Indian region. Apart from that, some other important point about INS Vela, it is 67.5 meters in length and 12.3 meters in height, and is capable of offensive operation across a large sector, including in all the spectrum or entire spectrum of naval warfare. That includes anti-surface warfare, that means as well as anti-submarine warfare. So it is a wide ranging, it has a wide ranging area where it can work upon. Now, if you try to compare the submarine capabilities of India with the two main nations or two nations with which India has a conflicting relation, that is China and India. So as of now, India has 13 diesel electric submarine, 1 nuclear powered submarine, that is called as INS Arihant, and 1 nuclear powered attack submarine, that is INS Chakra. At the same time, there are projects, as we have discussed, 6 Scorpene-Class submarine has to be manufactured under Project 75, and 3 more SSBN, that is nuclear powered submarine, has to be constructed after INS Arihant under Advanced Technology Vessels Program with the estimate of 90,000 crore. Later, 1350 tons S5 class submarines will also be built. Apart from that, India has to get its second nuclear powered attack submarine from from Russia for a 10-year lease, that is INS Chakra. Project to construct 6 SNS 60,000 crore has just kicked off. Apart from that, proposed construction of 6 new diesel electric submarine, as we discussed, Project 75 India is going to be take place in near future. Now coming to what India needs actually. So as per our demand, or as per the demand by the Indian Navy, they need at least 18 diesel electric submarine, 6 nuclear power attack submarine, and 4 nuclear power ballistic missile submarines. So this is the requirement. And if we try to compare the submarine capabilities of other countries, so first of all, China has total 56 submarines and 5 advanced Jin class SSBN with 7400 km range with and JL2 missile. At the same time, Pakistan has 5 diesel electric submarine, and they have planned to conduct or induct 8 more submarines by importing from China. At the same time, US has largest submarine arsenal with 72 nuclear submarines. Russia has over 40, UK and France have around 8 to 12 each. So overall, if you look at this, China has more number of submarines as compared to India, and Pakistan has as of now lesser number of submarines as compared to India. At the same time, in the global scale, US has the largest number of submarine arsenal. Now coming to different type of submarine and what are the major differences between them. So basically, there is argument between diesel submarine and the nuclear submarine, and which is more better. So both have a comparative advantage with respect to each other. If you compare the diesel submarine or diesel powered submarine, they have a smaller hull, and that is why, since they have a smaller hull, a smaller size, it is much easier to maneuver diesel powered submarine in shallow waters near the coastal areas. And due to this reason also, these are much harder to detect by the enemy ships, and also they have a fraction of cost, or relatively very low cost as compared to the nuclear powered submarine. However, nuclear powered submarine has certain advantages, or it can do certain work that nuclear diesel powered submarine cannot do. The first of that is it is much more bigger, and that is why it is much more tougher and heavily armed. That is, more number of weapons, more number of equipment can be carried. And not only that, even more number of personnels, Navy personnels or naval personnels can be carried on the nuclear powered submarine. At the same time, it has a much higher speed. It can cruise at a much higher speed as compared to diesel powered submarine, and due to this reason, it can remain submerged for weeks below the since it carries nuclear fuel and it can last for a particularly longer period of time. It can remain submerged underwater for weeks or for extended period of time as compared to the diesel submarine. So that is the overall comparative study between two different types of submarines India is trying to procure as well as develop. Now, looking at the whole submarine development program, we try to understand what should be the way forward for the Indian Navy and the Indian Defence Ministry. So, as you know that India has adopted a no first use nuclear policy doctrines. That means India has said that as far as the nuclear attack is concerned, India will not attack, or India will not be the first country to use nuclear weapon unless and until some other country or the adversary country or enemy country has used nuclear missiles on India. And under this nuclear policy, it is mandated that a triad should be established. Now, triad is something that we have to develop nuclear capabilities in 3 areas, that is in air, in land as well as in the water. However, policymakers and strategic experts believe that the sea-based leg is the most survivable component as far as the nuclear capability of India is concerned. Now, apart from that also, if you look at this, then looking ahead, India's future submarine fleet operations are likely to involve SSKs, that is diesel-based submarine, as well as SSNs, that is the nuclear-based submarines, and operating in the littoral spaces in a strategic environment that should be sanitized and protected by the SSBNs. What it means is that India should focus on all three kinds of submarine: the diesel-powered submarine, nuclear-powered ballistic submarine, as well as nuclear-powered attack submarines, and overall, the protection or the larger areas should be covered by the SSBN, while the smaller areas, littoral spaces, should be protected by the SSKs and SSN. And thus finally we can conclude by saying that if New Delhi can ensure compliance with the present construction deadlines, it could put its submarine modernization plans back on track. Right now the problem is the submarine modernization plan or induction of submarine is kind of delayed, as we have seen in the case of first Scorpene-Class submarine. It has to be inducted in the Indian Navy in year 2012, but first submarine was inducted in 2017. So there is overall 5 years of delay. So if we can prevent such kind of construction delays and all this, prevent the passage of deadlines or overtime, then definitely India could put its submarine modernization plan back on track and can emerge as a regional actor as far as the naval warfare is concerned. So that's all for today. I hope you understood the whole topic, and we'll come soon with another interesting topic. Till then, take care. Thank you very much.